Hey beautiful people, this video is about high-functioning agile teams. My name is Jennifer Kenny and I'm the best-selling author of The Innovation Mindset and award-winning author of 100% Capacity. And I focus on working with teams to help them build their execution capacity and their innovation capacity. And part of how I go about doing that is I actually help them understand what human coordination looks like and how we begin to design for it and take advantage of it, and what executional capacity really is. So we're going to dive into that in this video. I also want to look at what happens when agile practices meet executional fluency, because if we don't understand the difference between agile and executional capacity and executional fluency, then what we're doing is we're setting our agile up for failure and we're expecting it to be the silver bullet or the magic wand that solves all of our project problems. I've worked with many teams who are agile in name only, and what happens with them is agile is a fantastic way of beginning to think differently about how you might want to lead and manage projects, but it is only part of the solution. And the things that agile is striving for are to really build a better understanding of systems thinking, or more holistic thinking, into the engineering and design teams that are building a product or building a software solution. And in doing that, it's a huge step in the right direction. But in the absence of understanding then how to really execute and how to be able to pull together the agile elements of a project, we're missing out on a big opportunity to really deliver on both the value of agile and the value that we bring in terms of our ability to be able to coordinate and execute. By the end of this video, I'd like you to be able to understand how to identify the hidden execution gaps in agile delivery and to improve sprint outcomes by designing real promises and using what I refer to as conditions of satisfaction to anchor some of the stories that we're using as the narratives for some of the agile work that we're doing, and to normalize repair when velocity falters. So one of the great things about agile is that we are measuring velocity and we're trying to understand the speed at which we can deliver high quality software development out into the code base or into the product that we're building. So normalizing repair when velocity fails or velocity falters is an important capacity to be able to build into your team. Agile is not the same as executional fluency. So Agile is focused on the structures of how we build a software. Executional fluency is focused on how human beings coordinate with each other and how we get those commitments made to each other, how we do the handoffs to each other, how we define done for each other, how we understand our dependencies, and I think that most importantly, how do we deal with situations when stuff isn't working the way that we want it to, when the velocity is beginning to falter, or when we have breakdowns within the system. How do we recover from those very quickly? So what I've seen with lots of agile teams is Agile is seen as a panacea. I don't think it was ever intended for that. I think it's a very significant step forward in how we manage and think about product development, and particularly software development, but it's not the answer to everything. And if we rely on it and expect it to be the answer to everything, we move to an agile approach and agile methodology. What we're failing to see is that there is a huge element of execution underneath all of the agile design work that we're doing. And in the absence of being able to take care of that, we're going to bungle our agile solution and not deliver effectively. Conditions of satisfaction are important in terms of understanding the difference between what it takes for an agile sprint to be successful versus what it takes for the individual work within the sprint to be successful. Many times what happens is we've a whole lot of software engineers working on delivering a body of code for a particular product during a sprint, but many of the coordination problems happen within that particular team or within that particular sprint team. And over time, if we don't understand how to orchestrate them or how to help them be able to do that design work together at the micro level and at the macro level, then what we're going to do is our aspirational hopes around Agile solving a bunch of our design problems which it really can do if it's used well, fail because we don't have an understanding of what execution actually looks like. When we think about execution inside a Scrum, and we think about our development lead, our Scrum Master, our project lead, if those people understand how to execute, they have executional capacity and they understand how to be able to coordinate with each other, then what we'll start seeing them be able to catch a whole bunch of the potential breakdowns that will unravel as the Scrum proceeds. And what I've seen consistently is that people who have that awareness, who have been able to build that awareness over time, who we as leaders have helped build that awareness, is they're going to catch a lot more of the potential breakdowns in the Scrum environment rather than discover them halfway through the following week or the following 2 weeks, depending on how long your sprints are. When we design those sprints, understanding what done really means, and I don't mean done means in terms of checking in new code, I mean done means in terms of a particular individual on the team who is in a position to be able to assess the quality of what is being delivered and the value of what is being delivered and the relevance of what is being delivered, that they are actually be able to say, I am satisfied with what has been done, that we don't have individuals just checking in code and crossing their fingers and hoping that it's going to work together and that it's the right code and that it's effective code. The other thing that I've seen is important is when we do Scrum Retrospectives or Obeya Retrospectives, what is really valuable for us is to actually look at how we are constantly improving our ability to be able to work together and our ability to be able to coordinate with each other and our ability to be able to design for the execution layer and not just design for Agile. Agile is important, but without being supported by the execution layer, it's never going to be as successful as it could be, I believe, and so do a number of my clients. But the embedding of breakdown repair into the retrospectives will allow us to be able to build sensibility around what are breakdowns, why do they happen, how do they happen, what does miscoordination look like, and so we can begin to anticipate it, and we're building in the growth and continuous improvement of that capacity over time. As we build our execution capacity and we help people be able to build a shared language around it and shared standards around it, and we help them understand how to be able to weave it in with our agile development work, what we'll start seeing over time is that our ability to be able to build shared standards, our ability to be able to understand how to leverage execution capacity within our team to be able to deliver on more effective agile programs will grow consistently over time because we've built in the feedback loops that allow for constant learning, and we're not in this constant scramble to try and deliver more through our sprints. We're actually learning how to be able to deliver more effectively as we work through our sprints. So agile metrics and satisfaction metrics will also give us incredible insight into the work that we're doing. I talked about the idea of having someone on the team who is in a position to be able to identify and understand what really done looks like and declare whether or not that they are satisfied. Our agile metrics and our satisfaction metrics, as we start putting those together, they cater to different aspects of a high functioning agile team, not just answering the question, are we doing agile well, but answering the question, are we executing agile effectively? Are execution capabilities good enough to support our agile aspirations? So as you start building a high-functioning agile team, recognize that you're also building an execution capacity within that team, or you need to, and look at how you weave the agile structures and frameworks into the execution capacity frameworks and how you have those two actually work really well together. Over time, what you'll see is a continuous improvement begin to happen with your team, and your delivery cycles actually get more effective over time. If you're looking to build one of these, I have something that I think will help you, which is a white paper called Execution by Design. There's a link to it in the comments below. It's also available as a free resource on my website, and that is www.jenniferkenny.com/execution. Download it, read it, let me know what you think about it, and let me know your thoughts on the integration of Agile with a supporting execution layer and how that might help you be more effective as you build and design and maintain and grow high-functioning Agile teams. I wish you the best of luck. Take care.